I'm on time. Maybe even a little bit early, but first of all, sound check. The little paranoia sticks with me with these live streams. Sound check. Sound check, sound check. Let me see if I can find you. Let me see. Sorry. Silence. The silence is dead air, not audio. Woohoo! Got the wingman in the house on the patio. That's awesome. Where it's sunny and warm. Well, good morning to you, Robert. It's sunny and warm here as well. A little bit cool in the shade. Day 2 of flip-flops. Can you hear me? Always the most important question now is, can you hear me? So I'm going to wait for an answer while we look at Ciliano, who had a little bit of a shower. Convinced him, yay, thank you, Julie-san, thank you for that confirmation. I gave Ciliano a little bit of a shower. It's not that hot for him, but at least it gives him some water while he's in the jungle gym. So I'll be keeping an eye out on him as well, because if this takes a little bit longer, I may need to say, excusez-moi, I have to put him in his cage, but we'll just have to wait and see. So Ciliano also greets you from beautiful southern Spain on the patio. And why are you chewing a bare wire? You've got that bone for your calcium. Stop. Don't like that. You don't need to be chewing wire or sticking your eye into it or anything like that. Okay? There we go. Hey, happy woof woof to you. Meow meow. What does he do when he goes meow meow? Anyway, right. Our candidate is ready. It is soaking. I like to call her Rhyncholaelia Digbyana, but anyway, that's a synonym. So Rhyncholaelia Digbyana, excuse me, we are on the move while I scoot you to the main focus du jour of the stream. There we go. Please don't do anything, King. I've just cleaned. You never know with these live streams what we're going to see. Anyway, this is Rhyncholaelia Digbyana. I repotted her last time in 2021. She's got 2 directions of growth. I was thinking of dividing her, but I would still need somewhat of a large pot, so it doesn't really make a difference to divide her. Besides, I kind of like a big Digbyana, even though she only blooms on each lead, so the rest is just storage. But dividing her is not going to get me very far. I suppose I could use this pot. You see, I've been umming and ahhing about this one because I really don't like these big white pots. This is like it's not a set per se, but at least I've got an inner pot that somewhat fits into a mask. But they have holes on the bottom, which, you know, I've siliconed shut, but you never know whether that's going to leak. Then there's always the issue of winter. She has to be inside in winter. For this orchid, I really don't like this look, but I have a bowl and I would love to put her into this bowl because I could really be radical with the root bowl. I just don't have an outer bowl. I don't have a mask for this. And we'll see what we'll find. I'm kind of torn because I have no guarantees of actually finding the right size mask for this round bowl either. It's in my stash. I have to go to the garden center to see if they have new ones in. So, anyway, push comes to shove. If I do find a bowl, then I'm going to repot her and put her into the round one because that looks so much nicer. Hey! It's good to have you in the house, Portugal. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to hear you've got Gloriosa lilies in your beautiful garden. Right. So, jibber jabber out of the way. I soaked her just in 450, close to 500 parts per million of fertilizer because that was what was on the menu today for the big orchids. I think I'm going to need my hammer. Maybe not. Maybe we can avoid hammers. Let me get rid of the surface leca, because she is growing roots. And as much as I love root growth, some of my favorite orchids start their root growth bang smack when it gets really hot and super dry. And the Digbyana is one of them. So at least one lead is already underway with new roots. The second lead, not so much. So dividing her would be counterproductive because I don't want any energy wasted. You can tell how much I love this orchid. She is one of my top 5s. When I did my orchid tag as an introduction to me, who I am, my videos, my history, so to speak, I wasn't tagged because my channel was new, but I just did an orchid tag because it pretty much asked a lot of questions. We don't need the hammer. It asked a lot of questions that could be answered. Oh, and she's busy with branching. Gotta love orchids like this. Right. And there was a question that asked top 5 orchids. She was one of them. So there you go. Look at this beauty. Look at the branching. Right. Oh my goodness, Julie, thank you so, so much. Oh my goodness, yay, that spooked me at first. I thought we were disconnected again, but no, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Oh, okay, regroup. Thank you, Julie, thank you. So look at all this branching. We're probably going to be popping some of that off, not because I want to, but it's the name of the game, kinda. Now I'm just tempted to up-pot her. Now, that'll be a short live, won't it? Hey, everybody, we're done. Bye. Now, there are some dead roots in the back that I do want to clean up, but I think I'm going to have to get you in just a little bit closer. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just move this one bucket out of the way, because I know I'm going to trip and fall. That's just me. It's one of those things after, how long has it been? 56 years? When did I start to get aware that I was accident prone? Oh, maybe 6 years old. So in the past 50 years, I've learned a few things about myself, and cutting corners and thinking I'm going to be okay stepping over something without causing major injury. Yeah, don't even go there. So I've got that. I've got you down. I've got dirty hands. My water is over there. No need to wash hands. We're going to be getting them dirty again. Just a little bit. I'm going to, now what I'm going to do is favor the back end. Let me make sure that I've got you in shot. Yeah, I'm going to favor the back end. I'm going to try and keep her upright because all that branching in the front, dang. Let's see if we can take that over and bring it with us into the next pot without doing the damage. So, thank you for being you, Orchid Ninja Julie-san. Thank you so, so much. And yes, thank you, Robert. Thumbs up, thumbs up. And, oh, by the way, from what I've noticed, or I've been told, a little birdie told me in Italy that her sister is starting to grow orchids. Woohoo! I look forward to hearing all about those conversations in the comments of the videos. That is so much fun if you've got some family member that can relate to you. Maybe not quite yet, but it's coming. I can tell it's coming. So wonderful. And Carmen, if you're in the house, please send my regards to your sister. Let her know this channel exists, and if she needs any help, then you are always free to ask me. And if she wants anything, then please let her know. She's come to the right channel for that. Isn't this awesome, though? I sometimes have to step back and just gawk. I'm good at that. I'm good at gawking. I was always told as a child, that is a rude thing to do. Let me see, are you okay down there? Can you see okay? Do I need to up the exposure? Is it too dark? Let me know in the comments. I'm just going to wait and see if it's too dark because I'm going to get up and up the exposure and see if that's a better visual. Because what you're seeing are some very brown roots, but even the ones in the front, they're alive, as we saw earlier. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. So, is it too dark? Up the exposure? What do you want me to do? Let me know. Unless I'm frozen. Or we have an extreme long lag. Maybe I should type something. That's an option. Dirty hands. Okay. It's good. Okay. Julie coming in clutch. Awesome. All right, it's good. Perfect. Let's get a move on. So I'm going to favor the back. And even if I do accidentally take out, excuse me, some live roots, but no, these are not live at all. Let's just have a look-see so you can see. So pretty much you can actually see the color. There is a difference to live and dead. So there we go. We're good to go. Let's see how far in we can get. This is awesome to have this orchid just standing upright like this while I mess around beneath the canopy here. I would like to kind of maintain some moss. It's very helpful during the summer. Whew, I'm so glad I'm on time. What a day it's been. I feel I haven't stopped. Considering that yesterday I was stopped dead in my tracks. I was in so much pain. The right side of my body felt like it was starting to detach itself from me. And usually on the weekends, I do a house cleanup top to bottom. And I do one on a Saturday, and then I go over the house again on the Sunday, like a double whammy in case anything, dust starts to settle again. And I couldn't. I could hardly even sit and work at the computer yesterday. It was a nightmare. I was in so much pain. Sleeping, obviously, then is also very, very difficult. I took a painkiller last night, and that didn't work. At least I wanted to get some sleep. That didn't work. But it seemed to have kicked in at 10 a.m. this morning. And I was like, oh, gotta get cleaning. I only have so many hours. And the orchids, and this, and that. We gotta go live. So I was extremely busy, but it's wonderful now to sit here with you guys on the patio. And Ciliano's in his jungle gym. That's always one of those things where I'm going, what is he going to be doing? Because I don't want him squawking in his cage. My daughter comes home for lunch. She takes a rest. The heat at work does take it out of her, even though she's young. Something I don't understand, because back in the day, well, we're all different towards the heat. I favor the heat. So it never bothered me that it was hot when I was working. But I don't want Ciliano squawking around while she's trying to rest before she goes back. I'm translating the restaurant's menus. That was another thing. I'm behind on doing that. I can't sit at the computer for any length of time yesterday. But I've done the English. They've got the English. Now they want the German. I'm like, oh, okay. Whatever. So I did promise to do the German. There's just no way. If I can't sit and edit a video, which I did last night, well, that is my priority, is editing, then it's hardly that I'm going to sit and, translate menus, because when you're in pain, you kind of want to get it done as quickly as possible. And no, that opens all sorts of doors for mistakes. So, oh, but I got a beautiful bottle of, what do you think? I wish I could see the chat. I'm not going to wait for the answer, but I bet some people are thinking, yeah, I know what she got. But no, I got a gorgeous bottle of olive oil as a thank you, which the bottle itself looks like a work of art. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a promotional gift that they got. But, it's one of those olive oils that are fancy dancy, you know. Don't cook it. You just put a little bit of garlic in there, and all you're doing is dipping bread and eating it like that. The perfume and everything. I haven't opened it. I told my daughter, please go ahead. Do not think that this is just for me. Help yourself, because she loves her olive oils. It wouldn't surprise me if she said my mom would love that. You know how it is when you give gifts. Think of yourself as well. So very, very nice. And you know how bottles, when they're so fancy, you kind of think, oh, it's a big bottle, but then they're so heavy with the glass. So yeah, this is like getting some kind of a special perfume, but in olive oil. So I do have to apologize and say, guys, I'm late with the German, but there's only so much I can do. So I must remember that if I want to do something, don't take a painkiller at 6 p.m. unless you want to be busy the next day. If you want to sleep at night, take it at around about 4 p.m. maybe 12. I don't do painkillers, so I'm surprised it didn't kick in. Anyway, look at this, if you can. Let me just check who's here. Robert worked hard yesterday. You watched Mike move 300 pounds plus waterfall. That's the way to do it. That is working smart, not hard. It sounds like a good, it's a good deal, good teamwork. Anyway, I couldn't also, there's no way I could clean the media up. I've got a workload of media to clean up. That Ceramis from the other video when I took out the Rhyncholaelia Digbyana. That's a nightmare. That's needs to be cleaned. When I was chopping the dog food yesterday, for Baloo so that he can, you know, his little mouth, he can eat it, I was standing on my left foot like a Maasai. On my left foot with my right foot up by my knee. I just could not put weight on it. When my house guest came home and he said, hey, what's this, a reenactment? I said, yes, just about, sounds about right. So anyway, now I can laugh about it because everything's fine, but I couldn't film today. Because I want to mount the Dendrobium unicum, and no mistakes are allowed there. And I think it's an easy mounting job, but I also want to mount the Polyanthum. And I think that one's a fiddle, so I don't want to be standing around with that in the back of my mind either. So I'm a little bit, how should you say, incapacitated, sort of, kind of like. We'll see. Hopefully normal service will resume at some point. So we're getting quite nicely into this crevice, getting the dead roots out. I don't see any mold sometimes underneath what we saw with the, oh, here we've got a live root. Can you come out? I don't want to be yanking too much, because if you yank one, you can bruise another. But yeah, I did cut this one off, and it seems to be quite a, it's one of those. Let's see if we can't shake it loose. I just lost my choo-choo train of thought. Yeah, it was half there, half not. Never mind. We've got plenty coming. So whatever I was just babbling on about, I completely lost it. Hang on a second. Ooh, we're getting in even further than I expected. This one's still good. There's a lot of strandy bits I could be really fussed with. Let's see if that makes, I would like to get the microfiber out, just because the next repot is around the corner in 2025, if all goes well, unless I find that mask, of course, because then she's going into to that round setup because she'll stand so stupid. The proportions aren't going to be right. Some way I like my proportions, you know, but whatever. There's another thing I was thinking of doing yesterday is going to the garden center, but oh my goodness, sitting in the car, getting in and out, I would probably have had to call someone to come and get me. I might have made it there, but I probably wouldn't have made it back. Oh, by the way, Fernanda, day 2 of flip-flops. I couldn't do cartwheels around the patio yesterday. No way. But today, woohoo! Day 2. So we've got a beluga, a white beluga whale on the patio, along with all the orchids. It makes your eyes want to weep. That's how white I am. Let's get this microfiber out. ¿Dónde estás? You grow through. Oh, we'll just do that. Richard Lawton, it's good to see you. Welcome to Spain. Here on the patio. Richard, I bought mine 5 weeks ago. It has 4-inch growth and 4.5 more on the way. On the, was that your hair pig or the Digbyana? Because I thought you mentioned hair pig, but that doesn't mean that that's not a bad thing. How's it going? That was a couple of days ago. Waiting for 520, okay? Well, my green hair pig that had that deteriorating bulb, which was concerning because it was the second newest growth, minus the one it's growing this year, that just stopped. There was no more progress with the cinnamon, the clean cut, and then a good layer of cinnamon. There's no more deterioration. So I'm really pleased about that because that was like, what are you doing? That's not normal. You've never done this before. Why start now? So was that the hair pig, the Digbyana? The hair pig. Is it looking dry? Even if you haven't got Fisan yet, maybe? Is it looking dry? Are you still concerned about it? Or are you just monitoring and then working with the Fisan? As long as it's looking dry now that you've been at it. Oh, and Sandy, if you're here, if you're still listening, I saw your comment. Yes, please send me an email with the image, because if the mother plant isn't in active growth, you might want to wait for that before unpotting her and potting her up. Even though Nobiles are pretty robust, still, why push it? You know, you want to add your keikis to make the plant look nice. You don't want to be putting it into a situation where you're now struggling to have the mother plant recover. And because you're a little bit behind in the season because of your climate, that mother plant should be coming into active growth pretty quickly. I would say give it a month, guesstimate, más o menos, approx. That support can stay in there. You guys, this is turning out better than expected. I thought we would need the hammer. I thought we would need all sorts of things. I'm not even going to touch the front. Hello, why so flaky? I've got enough airflow re-established. I'm loving this. Oh. Yeah, now that you're loose, you're going to be a pain. I suppose I can take you out and reposition you. Okay, let's do like that then. At least you won't be ripping on something that I can't tell what you could be ripping on. Do I have any fern roots in here that I can be fussy about? I thought we were going to be here for another 2 hours with this thing. I really did expect that. I'm very, very pleased with what I'm seeing. Muy contenta. And all those little loving sounds that Ciliano is making also. He has the little cooing when he talks to himself. Is what he does. He's losing a lot of feathers at the moment. which is wonderful while you're cleaning, you know. Then you bring out your bird for free flight and poo. It's like the only reason I know that I've done any kind of cleaning up today is because my shoes squeak on the floor. That's the only reason. Bring Ciliano out and it's like, yeah, here we go. Popcorn everywhere, his cookies, you name it. Thank you very much. Bring in the wild birds. I'm like, okay, you two, why don't you just, you know, add to the mess, bring it on. I'll be mopping again tonight before I go to bed. Hakuna Matata, you know. We've got time today. Okay, there we go. I think we're not going to be messing around that much more. This, to me, is satisfactory. Hello? Do we need to look at this one in here? This one? Yeah. I don't want to lay you down. We've been doing so well. Let me do it like this. Keep you upright. Oop! Not good. Okay. That was a warning to stop. I just said it's looking good. So why keep going? Because I just saw another root? That's why. Hang on a second. We're going to go in there. Just hold the orchid up though. There's a little bit in there. Stop, Nina. It's good enough. Stop. It's not going to make any difference. But I see another one. Stop. That's it. That's it. Woohoo! I love it. Very pleased. Okay. So there's some dead roots up in here. They're going to stay. I'm not messing around anymore. Hello. There we go. I was going to say, what are you? On strike? And we're going to take off this nasty, sticking out, over salty looking root, alive or dead. I don't care. It's coming off. Nah, it was gone. This thing was bugging me with a crusty saltiness on it. Okay, time to wash my hands, time to clean up, time to change the tray, time to pot up. What a bummer I don't have that bowl, because even though she is a very deep root ball, if I had the mask to my bowl, I would go harakiri, take her down all the way to there. Which, should I find a mask, is what I'm still going to be doing. I think she'll look so much prettier as opposed to standing in these oversized pots. Okay, one moment, please. We're going to change the scenery. Where are we going to put her? On the staging area. And we can take care of Patricia von Pruyenbroek because she's in the blistering sun. That's another thing. I also have to buy fungicide. My Dendrobium hibiki has got a fungus. Don't like it. It's taking out new leaves. All these things that have a knock-on effect when you are incapacitated. That was all supposed to be happening yesterday. Let me bring my orchid back so she's not in the blistering sun. She can be in the blistering shade if there is such a thing. Alrighty, now, got to me microfibers. That's fine. I really want to crock this pot. I brought the nasty leca. This stuff. Look at this. From 2 bags. So we're back to nonsense leca again. But I didn't soak it, it just dried. It's not leached. I would really like to crock this big pot with this nasty stuff. And I wonder, yeah, I think I might get away with it. No, I don't. No, not with this orchid. She's too precious. Forget it. I have no idea what ppm that would be. The leca that came from, the ppm was just fine. You know, it wasn't like anything high. I could have used it the next day, so to speak. It wasn't leaching horrendously. So we'll just crock with good lecker. But when the shards are busted like that, very doubtful. Look at how much this pot is swallowing. Let me get my microfibers. That's one. Do you want some water? Yeah, because you know, the water bowl indoors isn't good enough. He has to have a pitcher with RO water every time. There we go. Okay, you don't? Okay. Oh, this king. When I'm watering my orchids, he always comes around and wants a pitcher of water. And if I'm not fast enough, he'll just drink it from the fertilized bucket. Anyway. Yeah, we are on Stanhopea Bloom's watch. Spikes, actually. Spike watch. Fernanda, those two spikes, don't be confused. Don't be misled. There's more coming. I don't know if you remember when I said I've got one thing that's coming out. I thought it was a new growth because the lower lead is so small on my Stanhopea. I was thinking, you know, that's already a new growth? No way. Turns out the lower lead with its spiddly little growth is actually capable of blooming. Okay, I've got them 3. And then we might as well fill them up. Now, let's see if I have enough space left for my orchid. A ver. Allez. Hop. Whoop. Ain't that just typical? We're too high. All right. Even for this pot, that was a bit too much. I'm happy to get some lecker back. Although I have plenty of big lecker. It's the small lecker that I need to favor. I need to baby that. So maybe just a little bit more. There we go. A ver. It's so loud outside. It's like, that'll do for a year. You see what I mean? I don't have a bigger round pot with a mask. That's why the bowl would be so much better. That would last me, if I can't find the mask, that'll last me a year, 2 years, maybe 3. It's not so bad after all. Okay, water. And I'm going to use the fertilized water. Why not? Nothing wrong with it. Just to fill up the pot. And now I'm going to use the untouched pitcher from down here. There we go. Can I? Now you see, I'm not potting this one up in the middle as I would normally do because the directions of growth have not changed since I got this orchid. You see the Y? She's attached right back here. That's where she's attached, and then she branches out yonder, that away, and that away. So, is that far enough back? Oh goody. I am going to need a third hand. Hang on a second. Come here. Oh, without breaking the glass table, that would be a great idea. Okay. Let me see. Have I got you in my sights? I'm going to now create my third hand. I'm going to bring you where you can see it. And I'll, excuse the frog, and I'll work my way around you. So my third hand is now going to manifest itself right there. Ooh, the leca is nice and warm. Oh, it's like a jacuzzi temperature in this. It's been in the sun just before. That's awesome. That was unexpected. Sorry. You know, I do have speed bumps. There's speed bumps on this road here. There's one right opposite the hedge, and then not far off, there's another one. And it's like, people. So you have a supercar. Yay. The last person I knew who had a supercar didn't make it. Stop it, people. Okay. So I'm just making sure to fill out all the space here so that when I let the orchid go, She's not going to move from where I wanted her. It works 99% of the time. There are no golden rules in the orchid hobby, but this works 99% of the time. Okay. Seeing as there's not much happening in the back, I want to make sure those root tips don't get bruised. Oh, hang on a second. I wonder if I can create an access point in here. Or are you? Nope, you're not. Huh. We found ourselves some more things to deal with back here. A ver. Because putting the leca in, letting it feed in from the top somehow, that would be quite helpful if it's feasible. And if not, then we're overthinking things. And then we can always do it the other way. Now, that of course is not going to fit. So, let me put this away. I don't drop it, and we'll be here for a little while. It was growing approximately 3 or 4 months ago. Okay. Yeah, they will grow during the winter as well, especially as you have probably got yours indoors. Seeing as I grow mine outdoors, I can all year round. So those growths have matured. I would honestly, if it's not too much trouble, I would honestly wait for new growths to start. Because with the nobiles, Sandy, those roots have already gone, they've not matured. You know, nobiles also have a branching root system, so they're quite forgiving. But if it were my orchid, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, I would wait. It's annoying with the keikis and the long roots, but if you say that your keikis don't seem to come through once they've been separated from the mother plant, then I don't know, maybe you can try them in a very, very, very small pot with seedling bark and a little bit of moss, sphagnum moss, in a teeny tiny pot, at least to tide them over. That could be an idea as well. Brea, hey, it's good to see you. Sorry while I'm fussing with my Digbyana here. I know it's pedantic. Getting the leca into the crevices, which is a deep gaping hole underneath the orchid, but I have to. Let's just redistribute what's going on down there. If it's not too much trouble, you can try with one, if that's what you want to try, in a very tiny pot, the smallest that you've got, and give it some seedling bark. If you want to grow it in my setup, like self-watering, I would recommend doing it with lava rock to be on the safe side. I know mine grows in leca and I've not had any issues with it, but that doesn't mean that there can't be issues. I'm just saying that lava rock is much, much safer and it will work. And you can choose, hello, are you lava rock? No, you're not. And you can choose large lava rock. You don't have to go with small lava rock, which is actually really nice because then you've got a wet-dry cycle, but you've also got a material that's got very good water retention. Fussing is important. Thank you, Brea. Especially when you're dealing with an orchid that you absolutely do not want to lose. You love so much. It's getting hotter. Things have to be done properly. Air gaps shouldn't be where air gaps weren't before. Thank you for that carte blanche there. I appreciate it. So there's that. Still got all that, but what I'm trying to do is, yes, you can see. What I'm trying to do is use the gap I've got back here, and then I'm pushing leca forward. And the reason I haven't started jiggling the pot yet is because of the root tips right here. It's too premature to be jiggling the pot to see where leca will settle. First of all, I want to see that the leca back here isn't going down as much as it was before I start jiggling the pot. Oh, and we can take some moss off as it starts to come off. That's good too. Doesn't have to be in there. It can. It'll grow back, but it doesn't have to be. You know what I did today? No, yesterday. No, not yesterday. Yesterday I was incapacitated. The day before, sorry. I don't know if anybody in here remembers or was in a live stream where I mentioned that my plumatum is growing a third spike. Yeah, well, that third spike is also history. I don't know, man. I hope the orchid forgives me and just grows a new growth. We'll just bench this year. She has tried to develop 3 spikes, has always tried to bloom, and I did see the blooms, but I bashed them with a tripod while I was in the blooming alley with you guys. The third spike now, I was messing about with the Rhyncholaelia and I wanted to flush them through, and I needed somewhere to put my picture because suddenly my blooming alley floor was full of Rhyncholaelia. Suddenly, she says. But anyway, and I saw a gap on the lower shelf, so I put my picture right there. The reason there was a gap there is because I had moved my plumatum right back so that I wouldn't touch the spike that was forming again with a tripod or do something stupid. No, I go and put my picture right there and I heard a snap. And I was like, you idiot! Come on, are you serious? I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. New growth, let's go. If she pushes out a 4th spike, I mean, my lucky number is number 4. But if she pushes out a 4th spike, I'm just going to be amazed. I doubt it very much. But can you believe it? My safeguard, even my safeguard, and I go and mess that up. I didn't want a puppy tail touching that spike, so I pushed it all the way back, and I thought, oh, look, there's a gap in the shelf, and I put my picture there, and then it was ever such a delicate snap sound, and I was like, oh. So that was me on a good day. And yeah, so yesterday, it was just me misting the orchids, keeping them happy, because I thought, nah, I'm having a bad day, then this is, it's not a good idea to be playing with orchids, or playing with anything for that matter. Whoop. Lekker. Oh, he's not even touching it now. That's awesome. Hang on a second. I gotta pick that up, though. You better be safe than sorry. Oh, gosh. I'll do some kind of yoga back here to get down there. Alrighty. Now, methinks we can jiggle the pot. Let's see what happens when we raise her up. Yeah. Okay, we're going to just keep that down a bit. And I'm going to fill that pot up even more, because now we're going to address the front. There we go. How's everybody's Sunday? How was everybody's weekend? That was a sad story, I know. I know. I was like, oh my goodness. It's not even something I was going to put that in the video, but then a lot of people may not have understood what was going on. And I was trying to get through all the good stuff. We can do a bad stuff video again another day. It doesn't have to be while we're dealing with the good stuff. So, because that wasn't that was no fault of the orchid. It wasn't a happening that needed to be documented because the orchid was doing it. That was all me. Anyway, a ver, them root tips, precious commodity. Now, it all looks wonderful from the front, but she seriously looks ridiculous from where I'm stood. The proportions are off. But, all aesthetics aside, she's potted up, and the timing was right. Seeing how vigorously she's branching, I'm going to keep a little bit of a canyon there. See how vigorous she's branching? If I can find a bowl fast enough, this one's going to be changed. That would be Digbyana part 2. Just kidding. A ver. let us drain this thing. And I'm also wondering if everybody's been following the news. Rest in peace is all I can say. And to be honest with you, my father would have no sympathies if he were still alive to have witnessed and heard what was going on. Some people just don't want to listen to the voice of reason and don't want to be in any way, shape or form feel as though that they are also just mere mortals. I feel so bad for the Pakistani family. I really, really do. Feel so, so bad for them. Not that I don't feel bad for any other family either, please don't get me wrong, but they were the experts, they were responsible. Pretty much you could say they knew what they were doing. No, they didn't, clearly, otherwise they'd still be with us. But very, very sad. So we're going to flush her through, just because I didn't use that much water today, and we've got it on hand. There we go. Hecho. Let's just make sure. As the water pours off the edge of the table, that's not me. I'm not suffering from incontinence. Okay, now this looks now grimy. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Let me just rinse this out. I have another channel account all ready to go when I can find the time, but I don't want to be burning the candle at both ends because I want to be covering newsworthy stories and, you know, give commentary, opine, do all that fun stuff. It's all ready. Banner, the branding, all done. But I don't have the time at the moment to dedicate to pursuing the content. But I can assure you that what happened with the submersible, oh boy, I would very diplomatically give my father's opinion. Very diplomatically. He wouldn't be so diplomatic, but we are on a public platform and people have lost their lives. Okay, so I'm going to take you back a step. We're on the move just to show you what I'm saying when I say it just looks ridiculous and why I don't really like it. I don't know. I don't know what 9 likes. Thank you so much. I don't know what you think. You know, it just looks like the pot is too tall for the orchid. I don't know. But let's look past that. It is done. So what I'm going to do is put her in her place, create some space. And I have more pots to clean, more media to clean. I can see what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to, mind you. I do love cleaning media. As long as I don't... Oop, why are you... You see, that's another thing. Because they don't fit, they slosh. Okay, maybe I've got too much water in there. How about that then? I've got way too much water. You can tell these are not my standard pots. I haven't learned the measures yet. We'll give the Gloriosa lilies a little bit more of a drink. They seem to be drying out very, very quickly. So, there we go. And yes, if you're hearing me sloshing around, those are my flip-flops. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. There we go. Oh, we got to turn her this way in the opposite direction of where the light is coming. Un poco más. And winter is going to be a big deal for me this winter. I have no idea how I'm going to work my orchids and the new mounts. Okay, but we have a treat. I'm going to bring you a treat, then we have a little bit of a chin wag. And let me make sure I've got enough battery, or am I going to plug you in? I think we're going to do the plugging in thing. Because if I touch that screen, last week we were disconnected. That's not a good thing either. Why don't you keep your electronics out of the water, Nina? How about that? You think that's a good idea? There we go. This is in real time, plus checking out Ciliano at the beginning. 50 minutes for a Digbyana. I think that's pretty good going. Okay. As she goes flapping around into the blooming alley, which is absolutely gorgeous at the moment, and it smells nice too. Come here. Oh, 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 oh. Well, at least she was documented. My Werkhäuserie is already going downhill. That beautiful presentation of petals. Please look past the dead scale bodies. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe I'm not even connected sounding wrong. 3 years in the pot? Yep. I don't like the proportions of... So let me step back here. You see the proportions of this one? I don't know. The pot isn't as clumsy looking. The orchid has plenty of space. Whereas over there, you see that? That's the Digbyana. It just looks clumsy to me. But again, it's a visual thing. What are you used to, you know? That's the only thing. You get past that. How about that? Ain't she pretty? This is Laelia purpurata, variety Werkhäuserie striata. Okay. While we're here, even though they are dead bodies, I have to film her tomorrow. She has not been documented yet, but I have to film her tomorrow because, woohoo, we have a care collab coming. Thanks to Fernanda Nacimiento Orchids and Succulents, who did all the organizing. So she has to be en condiciones. We're just going to have to look past my white blotches, mystery blotches, and because it is somewhat late afternoon, it has to, oh, it has to happen now. Oh, I think I know what happened with my purpurata Werkhäuserie petals. I misted my hibiki above with alcohol, and some of the mist must have dropped onto the petals, and that's why they are already going over. Que dommage! But anyway, let's aprovechar and take advantage of what we've got going on here. And that pot feels a little bit light. ¿Por qué? Whoa! You are kidding me. That is too light. A ver. Oh, we've still got water, but here we go, madam. There's more where that came from, so help yourself. Alrighty. Yeah, she's beautiful. Love. Okay, I've got you. I see you. Thank you very much for taking care of that. You see then? You see, Robert could see that Fernanda had a comment that was not going through simply because it was just emojis. So it's like, what do you want? What do you want people to do? Also, comments getting erased and all that horrible stuff. Let me sit down. Let me have a little bit of a refreshment. A ver. You think with this big patio, I've got plenty of space, but when there's a repot, everything's going on. And let me regroup. Cheers. Me and my iced tea. No worries, Brea. It's always good to get another opinion in. I don't know, I just feel like the pot shouldn't be the bulky part visually. It should be the orchid that has the bulk, and then the pot should somewhat match proportionally. But again, with inorganic media, I always say, you can have the pot size as big as you want. It's can you fit the pot in the space in your grow space, or does it look aesthetically pleasing? But anyway, like I said, if I get an outer mask, it is going to go into that bowl, and then we'll just do a 30% chop of the root system. For now, at least, I've got her safe. Should I run out of time this season? It doesn't really matter. It's going to be interesting during the winter, though. Who has come in? Who have I not said hello to? I've said hello to everybody. That's awesome. So, question to you. Any plans for this Sunday? Any other questions for the orchids? I'm not going to insistir that we hang out together, but that's all part and parcel of going live, that we can hang out together and answer any questions you may have. Not necessarily Digbyana related. Anything in general. Also, what are you doing if your day has only just begun? It's all happening. It feels so much better to be pain-free, I can tell you. Yesterday I was so grumpy. I was a very grumpy person. And it's exhausting. Being in pain is exhausting. I don't know about you, but I was so tired yesterday. I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. It was awful. Housework, buying small bark. That's always a good thing. It's always handy to have small bark. If you have large bark, you can also chop it into smaller pieces, but that kind of compromises the outside a little bit and makes it a little bit more... You see? Comments getting erased. I have no idea. Now, with this bigger bark, if you do chop it up, it just compromises a little bit the structure and maybe longevity of it, but it can also be done in case of emergencies. I don't know why comments are getting erased. Look, things are going on that I have absolutely no understanding for. I have sent feedback for my puny little channel. YouTube probably doesn't care, clearly doesn't care, but I sent feedback anyway. Maybe there are bigger channels with a similar concern. I know there are, because other people have been commenting on it as well in other communities, that their chat is messing up, their comments are getting erased. They don't even have comments that they can review and approve in the background, nothing. And these channels are enormous. I just add my 2 cents worth in and thinking if there's more of us around, every little helps, and hopefully they get it sorted out. Sometimes it is because of bad language. Now, those I do understand, and I would probably not approve those if they were to go on into my comments. Some would, and I don't even see them. Let's just put it this way. I don't even see them because the comments that are being erased do not have any bad language, any derogatory, nothing. They're just gone. Some are also getting erased because there's no space between the last word and the next word. So it is the last word, and then there's a period, and then immediately the next word starts, and YouTube interprets that as a link. So that won't go through if that's just like a harmless typo. Anita Brown, hey, yeah, she's pretty. She's not fragrant for me yet, though. She opened yesterday. She should also smell like roses, like the other striata. Yeah, she's pretty, so I'm going to have to document her tomorrow, otherwise I'm going to run out of time. Things are piling up. You know, one day, and it just makes everything go cuckoos for the rest of the schedule. It's like a domino effect. So tomorrow I'm going to have to be feeling exactly the way I'm feeling now so that I can get it all done. Anyway, I've got more media to clean, so at least I'm not starting something that I hadn't finished yet, but yeah. Okay, well, in that case, Please tell me that I'm still online. Is my striot? Yes, I'm still moving. I can't believe it. It looked for a moment as if the screen froze again. We are that wind still. My orchid isn't moving. Now she is. At least I can put my hand there just to make sure we're still on air. But anyway, I am going to actually then, seeing as we are where we're at, happy days. It doesn't always have to be drama when it comes to repotting an orchid. I am going to then say thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And well, I hope you have a great start to the next week. By the way, if you haven't seen my community post, tomorrow, Monday, I'm not posting a video. I explained why in the live pretty much, but there is a community post. I cannot. Oh, my right side, Sandy. It starts from the hip down, and this is the pain I feel during the winter. The fact that I'm feeling this now in the warm temperatures is very concerning. A little bit alarming to say the least, because normally this happens during the winter and I could scream. I could scream at the world, but it's my right hip. It's an injury from back in when I was very into gym and into weightlifting. And I slipped and I had the bench between one leg and I had the dumbbell in my other hand, and I was trying to come over the side of the bench with the dumbbell in the hand after doing triceps, and I slipped and my right leg stayed on the bench while everything else fell over to the left. And I could feel, it was a bit tender, it was a bit sore, but because I was so fit at the time, the muscle cage and everything was extremely tight, supporting everything. And it turns out that that injury is now really, really bad. And it's moving down to my right knee. And last night, or all day yesterday, I had it down my right side. I really thought my whole right side was going to come off somehow, because even on the right side of my ankle, it was just excruciating. Just bad. So, hey, a painkiller taken at 6 p.m., kicked in at 10 a.m. Happy days. I think I was up until 5:30 in the morning, but you see, when you're pain-free, it just doesn't seem to matter. The day is so much easier to handle. Anyway, that is the answer to that question. It was a fabulous day today. It was wonderful having you on the patio. Thank you so, so much for joining me. Make sure you enjoy your Sunday. Make sure you have a great one on Monday. But I do attach a condition to that, as always, that you stay safe, please. You guys take care, hey? Bye.